Well, now we're going to explore some of the configuration options for the y-axis, and that's the numbers along the left side of the chart in this column chart. In most cases, the y-axis is going to be numeric, so the options for it are more geared towards numbers. Let's go over here and click on the axis, the vertical axis, and then let's right click on it and we'll go to Format Axis. The first set of options has to do with the values along the y-axis. They're the minimum, maximum, major unit, and minor unit. Now, right now they all have check marks, and that's underneath auto, and that means that Excel has gone in and figured out the best values for all these. The minimum is going to be the lowest value on that vertical axis. Max is going to be the top, and those are going to be based on the data in your data series. And then it will also figure out the best breakpoints for the grid lines, if you will. You see we've got 500 and 100. So every 500 we have a little bit darker grid line, and in between those we have a lighter grid line. But we can, if we want to, change those and make them fixed if you want. So right now we could make this, we could go in to the minimum, but we might put 400 there, and that would raise the minimum of that vertical axis to 400. Now on the max we can make it 3600, and then for a major unit we might say 400, and a minor unit we could make it be 50. Again, just changing some of the scale of the actual axis. So now we go from 400 to 3600, and the columns have gotten a little bit more spread out because we've made the axis a little bit narrower, so we get to see the shift a little bit better. Now at the bottom it says that the horizontal axis crosses at 400. That's typically going to be at the very bottom of the vertical axis, but again, you could have it do something unusual and maybe make it cross at some other point of the chart. And you see how it looks a little unusual now sitting up there. Nobody's really used to that, but it is an option. The next control we have in the Format Axis dialog is for display units. Now right now we just have units that go up to 3600. It's not that big, but as you'll see you can display it in hundreds. So now we've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. We could be thousands, and you could even have a display in 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, billions. And these are just helpful options. If you are in the millions or billions, that number without any display unit on it is going to get really large on the side of your chart. And you don't want it to take up a lot of room. That could be used for other more meaningful information. The next option we have here is the logarithmic scale. Now typically most people are used to just a linear kind of scale, and that just means that the whole chart is scaled the same. Every tick mark is 100. Logarithmic scale basically makes it go up by powers of 10. Values in reverse order does exactly what you think it would do. It just flips the vertical axis so that it's upside down. And the last option is you can have the horizontal axis cross at the maximum value. And that would just put it at the top so that your chart again looks a little different. You have it across the top and the chart goes down. It tells a little different story though. I mean, this kind of looks like things are underneath a threshold. So you might have some information where you do that. Maybe if you were working for a civil engineering company and you wanted drilling depths, that might make sense. But for what most people are going to do, we're going to keep that horizontal axis at the bottom of the sheet. The rest of the options we've gone through before. They pretty much have to do again with formatting of that axis. The different font, the look and feel of the text box, the fill, any effects that you might want to put on the vertical axis. Well, we've seen some great options for modifying the X and Y axis in a column chart. These settings will help you fine-tune your charts to help you tell your story. Many of the other chart types have similar axis options. Just have fun and experiment with them.